musical interlude, and it's a really important one, Axis of Evil. We've heard this one before. Thanks very much, Raymond.
Thank you, Ben.
Well done, mate. Thank you.
Yes, I've sung this song earlier this year, actually. But I was talking to Florence at the last service, and she was telling me how much she likes this song. So I promised her that I'd do it at today's musical interlude. Axis of Evil. I wrote this song in 2003, just before the USA invaded Iraq. President George Bush first used the phrase Axis of Evil in 2002 in his State of the Union address, identifying Iraq, Iran and North Korea as America's enemies. So this song is written as a kind of a fantasy, almost like a dream, using some of the techniques of traditional ballads. Axis of Evil. I was walking one day in the garden when I met with Osama bin Laden. He gave me a push and said, "Pass this to Bush." And I answered, "I beg your pardon." He said, "Oh, my pardon you never will see, till apples do grow on a wild cherry tree. You saw what I did to the WTC. My resolve, it continues to harden." I walked through the garden again, and I met up with Saddam Hussein. He gave me a push and said, "Pass this to Bush." So I told him, "You must be insane." He answered, "Insane I never shall be, till apples do grow on a wild cherry tree. But if you send your soldiers to crucify me, I believe I've the right to complain." Well, before I had gone very far, Khatami jumped out of his car. He gave me a push and said, "Pass this to Bush. Who the hell do those Yanks think they are?" He said, "In Iran you can certainly see whether apples do grow on a wild cherry tree. Our holy men showed us the way we should be, and we had to dispense with the Shah. For the axis of evil is a terrible place, a danger indeed to the whole human race. If you ever should dare to wander out there, you're bound to fall flat on your face. Kim Jong-il from the north of Korea offered to buy me a beer. Then he gave me a push and said, "Pass this to Bush." And I hope that the message is clear. He said, "All my people will idolize me, till apples do grow on a wild cherry tree. And they won't live in fear of the land of the free. We've got nuclear weapons out here." Oh, the axis of evil is a terrible thing. Of Iraq, North Korea and Iran I do sing. All I can say is keep well away from its deadly and perilous sting. Well, I walked for a night and a day, till I came to the US of A. I sneaked up on Bush and I gave him a push, and I asked him, "Now what do you say? Why don't you let all those poor Arabs be?" He said, "We must show them all democracy. And besides, we need oil in the land of the free. They are the ones who must pay." Oh, the axis of evil is a terrible phrase. It'll haunt Mr. Bush till the end of his days. If you step through the door that leads into war, you'll be hopelessly lost in the maze. There you will wander and never be free, till apples do grow on a wild cherry tree. But if we're in a jam, we can call Uncle Sam and his axis of democracy.
Thanks, Ryan. Very appropriate, isn't it? Very, very appropriate.